Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Maria. I am a freelance illustrator and artist, and today I wanted to do something completely different, well, different for me, and chat a little while sketching. I will be drawing fan art for the 2018 Netflix and DreamWorks series She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. And if you hadn't watched it, don't worry, I won't be spoiling any plot points in this video. I've prepared a list of things that I'd like to mention, and the speed page will be running in a second, so please grab a cup of your favorite beverage and chill with me for a while. And just a quick side note, this is actually my first video on this channel. So if you're watching it now, yay! Thank you for being here, and I'm so glad that you're with me at this turning point of my life. And if you're watching from the future, I'm sorry. So, I've prepared a list of 6 things why She-Ra has taken over my life so much since I've watched the finale in May. And the title of this video may be a little bit misleading, as I just meant it in a positive sense. But also slightly negative, because I find it hard to focus on any other fandom at the moment. I mean, win some, lose some, I guess. And the first thing that made me fall in love with this series is pretty shallow, but rather important if you're willing to invest your time in an animated show. So it's art style. And don't get me wrong, I'm not one of those people who get fussy when they hear that a show or a movie is animated and for kids. I mean, I draw all the time. I want to draw full time in the future. This is very much what I like. And listen, art style is a personal thing, but even so, She-Ra's styles just, I don't know, it spoke to me. And maybe because it's kind of a little bit similar to my own style. And you can imagine that drawing She-Ra fan art now, fantastic. Feels good, feels organic. Or maybe it's because it reminded me of my favorite cartoons that I used to watch as a kid. Mostly Totally Spies or Braceface. And please don't judge me and say how incredibly old I am. I grew up in Europe and we got everything late here. And dubbed as well. I remember starting episode 1 of She-Ra and immediately feeling the same kind of excitement I felt when I finally managed to catch a Totally Spies episode that I haven't seen before. And speaking of excitement, music. Okay, I am no expert on this, but I just wanted to mention that A, the music is great, and DreamWorks, please release the soundtrack because I need those tunes for my Spotify playlists. And B, the opening sequence. Oh, I love it. I love how upbeat it is. I love how the animation in it changes. And how in the beginning, it got me excited to see the characters that weren't introduced yet. Yeah, that's a truly anime move, but I respect that. And honestly, I haven't skipped the opening once, and it always got me pumped for the episode. Well, maybe apart from that one time when I was rewatching season 1 and I was incredibly hungover and I started crying because there's this lyrics that we must be strong, and I wasn't feeling strong at all. Anyway, the next point is backgrounds. And I won't be spending a lot of time on this. They are gorgeous. I loved all the locations. And I love how I'm able to just see them in my mind whenever I'm thinking of a scene taking place in a different location. And just please always give a lot of love to background artists. Because in general, this aspect in finished works is often overlooked, and it's so incredibly hard and takes so much skill and work. So just, oof. And my next point is character design. Finally, something that I can speak right from my heart about, because this is what I actually love the most in drawing. And of course, this show is a remake, of the 80s She-Ra show. But when you look at the 80s characters and the new ones, and I honestly recommend that you look at them. There are some articles that compare the characters in the 80s and now. It's just hilarious. Everybody and their mother was a sexy girl. And they all look the same. The new designs, they are just so appealing. At least to me, I mean. The majority of the cast are girls. And I was just delighted to see how different everyone looked. And I don't mean exactly, the faces, because obviously this is something that needs to be simplified for animation. But just when it comes to shapes, to how they're built, just from a character design's point of view, really good. And also, side note, this is completely personal on my part, but I love how this show was not afraid at all to show us some proper buff women. Yeah. The shows that are too scared to show us buff women, cowards. And in general, I just love the variety of shapes, of colors and ideas. I want to draw every single princess, but I just need to get over my constant need to produce Katrodora content right now. And speaking of characters, my next point is characters in general. I don't think there's one character that I would be like, ugh, this guy. I either liked or really loved or even hated some of them. I mean, those people who watched probably know which woman I mean right now. But there was no boredom, And getting to know their personalities, weaknesses, seeing them grow, that's just good food, And Shira definitely delivered on character arcs. And as I promised, I won't be spoiling anything in this video, but just let me say that they are done beautifully, and I thoroughly enjoyed them. Seeing the journey that some characters have been through, it was something. And of course, if you're still watching, I will finally address the elephant in the room. So my next point is the LGBT representation. So I am a part of this community, and I watched a lot of shows, and some of them also are pretty inclusive, like, for example, Steven Universe. But I've never seen a show like this. And I am 26, so I am quite old, okay? And I have not. The representation is just, it's delicious. It's not being shown as a token or waved around ironically. We are not queer-baited. It was just so normal and interwoven with the story that I cried a few times. It hit different. And the last thing about this show that changed my life was the ending. And I won't be saying anything more. You just need to watch it yourself. And please watch it. Because I really hope that we will get some more content, because there is such great potential, and right now the fandom is storming and making a lot of hashtags trending on Twitter, which I love, and I'm also trying to help sometimes, mostly about She-Ra getting a movie, which I think that it absolutely deserves. And the more people watch it, the more support they can get. So yes, I am not being paid by anyone, I'm just a passionate fan, and I definitely recommend it. Of course, it's not a perfect show, I've never said it, but this is just me bringing some positivity and being genuine and cheesy, because this is how I feel right now. I've been enjoying media my whole life, and I've been let down by a lot of them. So it was just such a nice surprise to actually be happy with how the show ended and not, feeling stupid for liking it. So, if you agree with my opinions or think I forgot something or you saw something differently, I don't know, please let me know in the comments. I would love to talk to you. As I said, my first video. This is completely new to me. I feel like I'm pretending to make a YouTube video. But like and subscribe. Yeah, that's what you say. Gosh, this is weird. Anyway, all my social media links can be found below. You can see how this picture turned out on my Twitter or on Instagram. And thank you so much for watching and have a nice day!